Now we have Bhupesh. Hi, Bhupesh, welcome.
Thank you, Dr.
Hi. You have the presenter access now. Have you got the presenter access?
No, I don't. Yeah. So hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can see it.
So thanks everyone for giving me the opportunity to present this practice. So Smarter Workforce at Concentrix, I'll introduce what this is and how has it transformed our lives here. So basically, we start with the biometrics, and then we also have built-in desktop analytics into this. We've also integrated with a lot of our tools. So whether it is Workday as an upstream, the Workday feeds into this piece, and then this tool itself feeds into a lot of other downstream applications. I'll cover some of that in detail as we move forward. What were we doing in a regular BCP? What impact did it have at that point of time? So let's say if we have a normal working scenario and we are hit with an earthquake. So we had regular BCPs also, and also how is it impacting during the COVID? I'll cover that part. And as a feed to the downstream application, it also helped us to put in accurate payroll. So this is what I'll be covering in the next few slides. So we looked at really redoing a lot of stuff, and we wanted to understand why do we need to do this? Why do we reinvent the wheel? So we had huge leakages in productivity that were happening. So a lot of times we are not able to track, especially for back office agents, what were they doing and where was the time going. So we had 6% leakage in productivity when we started this. We also had issues in the payroll accuracy, so we wanted to fix that part. And we also had issues that actually people can do a password sharing. So they could be sharing their passwords and actually it could lead to some data fraud. So we wanted to address that part also with this. And how did we do this? The basic thing that we started with was biometrics. And I'll just cover on how did we build on this. So the first thing that we wanted to do was when people come into office, we capture their accurate time in office. And when they were leaving office, we wanted to capture their time at that point of time. So we get to know what time are they in office. We also then integrated this with the desktop logins that they were doing. So when you have to go to your desktop and try and log in, you have to swipe your finger to log in. The other piece was when you've logged in, there is a tool that we developed in-house, which we call Agent Activity Logger, and I'll cover that in the next few slides in detail. So that would actually give you the time that the real time that people are spending in office being productive. So I'll just cover that as we move forward. And then, like I said, it would be feeding into the payroll. And so that is 100% accurate payroll that we were having. And since now we had the right number of people, they were spending the right number of hours in office and they were being fully productive, we clearly were able to reduce our required headcount. So all that leakage went away and we were able to ensure that we have the right headcount that we need. Now, this was a success, and I'll cover in the next few slides what was the number that we were able to save. But we took a different approach here. Rather than just trying to implement pure biometrics and then trying to look at, okay, let's just integrate with payroll, we did something different. We actually did pilots, smaller ones, and we listened to our customers. What did they really want? So we then developed close to 100 plus customizations, both on the biometric device that we have and also to some of the downstream applications that it was feeding data into. So for example, there is a shift that is uploaded for an agent, and if the person does not swipe the finger within 10 minutes of the shift, there's an automated email that goes to the team leader. It will list down all your people who haven't come in, and it will tell you that these folks haven't come in so that you can actually chase them. We had real-time reports, obviously, for management to track. We also help people to understand what time have they spent in office. So because while we don't pay by hours, it is important that we have people fully productive. So if people were not spending right number of hours, the feed that is going to payroll that would mark the attendance automatically. So for example, if they don't spend, I'm just giving an example, let's say 8 hours in office, you are marked half day. Now people might contest, I've spent enough time, why is not marking present? So on the screen itself, when you log out, you are able to see the amount of time that you spent in office. Uh, some other good to have things. So as soon as you come into office and let's say it's your birthday and you swipe in, there's a mailer that goes to your team leader, and on the screen also you get to see the screen will wish you a very happy birthday. We also realized that in India there were, and again a feed that goes to some of the downstream applications. We integrated a couple of things with security systems and also with transport system. So one of the things that we did for transport was that, let's say when we pick up person in the morning shift and they have to come in, a lot of times people were not coming in. There was a transport cost. We were sending the cab to their homes, but they were not coming in. So what we did was, if you don't come in and you don't swipe your finger, the drop that has to happen in the night, we don't roster you for that. So that way, since you've not come into office and you've not swiped your finger, the drop that has to happen, that doesn't happen. And that way you are able to save costs. The other piece that really happened was that with all the instances that happened in the last few years, female security became very important to us. So we started providing transport to all the female employees that were going after 7 p.m. What we realized was some of the times people were not taking that complete transport also. So on the biometric system itself, when people were logging out, if you are a female, there's a separate prompt that will come to you, and I'll show you that in the next slide. That prompt will ask you that would you be taking company transport or not, because we are providing you it, the transport. So we, if you don't take it, that's a security declaration that we were taking there itself on the screen. The biggest thing that we had was that with a lot of user feedback that was happening, we always wanted to roll out new features. So this one is just an Android app. As we develop the app, we just upload it onto Google Play Store, and new features get rolled out automatically on all the devices. As of now, we have close to 1,000+ devices installed pan India, and anytime we have a new feature, it will get rolled. This is how the interface is, a very sleek interface. You come in, you click on in, you go out, you click on out, and on the top, if you see that there is a message also, please ensure your emergency contact. We can actually customize the message that we want to give to people, uh, and that can be on different locations. So let's say I have a festival in South India. So we can just customize that message and it will wish the people there itself. What we also have, this number that you see 000, that's a device number that we have. So anytime a device goes down, whether because people are not able to swipe in, any technical issue happens, power goes off, whatever happens, there's an automated mail that goes to IT that this device has gone down, please go and look at it. So that is something that we were able to do here. This is how when you come in, you put in your employee ID and then you swipe your finger, and a screen where it is wishing you a happy birthday. This is how it looks like. And the security declaration that I was talking about. So if you are a female and you log out after 7 p.m., only then you will get this form. You have to say yes or no whether you're going to use the complete transport or not. And when you log out, this is the screen that comes, and this is where it is announcing how many hours have you spent. So people would know there and then that my attendance will be marked as per these hours that are coming in here. So biometrics was one part of it. You come in, you go out, very simple. While we developed a lot of customization, but it's a simple thing that you come in, come out, and you come in and go out. And what were we doing after that? So what we did was we put in the agent activity logger AAL tool, and I believe in the last few presentations, one of the participants were talking about it, and it's a similar piece. Uh, so what we have is biometrics gives you in and out time. The person comes into office and goes and logs into his desktop. So his system in time is captured. Uh, What we also do is we capture the keystrokes, mouse movement, system lock time, system unlock time. So this way, entirely we get to know what is an agent really doing on the production floor. Now, for this one, the concept was that when we have to track this for a back office agent, we don't want any manual intervention. So we actually developed an EXE which is auto run. Nobody needs to log into any other tool. It will run on your system by default. It's a part of your system image. So as soon as you log into your system, it will get executed and it will capture whatever you're doing. So one of the points that, for example, Deepak, you had raised was how do we know what uh, time the person is spending on a website? So we can actually customize for each account, for each LOB, which all are my productive applications, which all are my productive URLs. We can actually go there and say, okay, if the person is working for Amazon, Amazon.com is, for example, productive, but Flipkart.com is not productive. So we can customize that part and we will get to know how much time is the person spending on each of the applications. Uh, it will also track and log, and it will log your time as unproductive if there is no mouse movement or keystroke movement for, let's say, 5 minutes or 2 minutes. We can customize that part also. So that way, for a back office agent, we are able to ensure that we give him the same kind of an experience that a voice agent would have. Uh, what we also had all the other ACDs and payroll, and then we were able to integrate that into a unified data. So multiple tools. Is I hear background noise? Sorry, can I request people to go on mute? Thanks. So, sorry, Shiva, can you mute the rest of the people? So we have integration happening into the data warehouse where with all these different data sources coming in for different accounts, whether it is a voice account, a back office account, we have workday information also, we've got payroll also. Uh, so before I go there, so this utility that we developed for AAL, we never thought that it would be so much beneficial. I just got this piece coming in. So when COVID happened, this was the main piece that helped us really track people who are at home. Are they being productive or not? So this was a blessing in disguise for us. We actually did not develop it with this context. Nobody planned for COVID to happen. But this, since this was there in every agent system, from the time he would log in, from the time to the time that he logs out, we were able to get the right information. And there are some reports that I'll show you in the next few slides. These are kind of dashboards that we had built in. We were able to see from a country level, we were able to drill down to an agent level data on a Power BI dashboard, and we had multiple different views that were there. One of the dashboards is this. We get to see, for example, how much time have people logged in, which location, what's my real-time attendance running. I can just click on this map and drill down to the respective locations. This dashboard is more of comparing the different times. So if I just go back and the time that people spent in office versus the time that they were really productive. In the pre-COVID times, we actually were able to use this dashboard to really track. Let's say I come into office at 9 a.m., but my system login is only 9:30 a.m. I get to know there's a half-hour leakage there itself happening. We had people who were swiping in early, they were reaching to office early, but then we knew that, okay, so you've not logged into your system. So we were able to track that part also with this entire integration that happened. Moving on, some of the numbers. So this has been there. This entire smarter workforce has been there for us for the last 1.5, 2 years. So what are the numbers? What are the results that we have? I'll just let some of the numbers fly in here, and I'll cover them as we move on. So the first one, 10% improvement has happened in our production hours in the last 2 years. We've got these many headcounts saved only in India for the last 2 years. So 6,300 headcounts saved because people are spending the right amount of time in office. We have to hire these many less number of people. Globally, we've got more than 68,000 people enrolled, and we had savings of 995,000 hours, man hours, because we had more people logging in. People were logging in on time, and these many hours we were able to improve. And this is the dollar value saving, close to $5 million in the last year itself. And the investment that we did in the last 2.5 years over this pilot stabilization phase and overall to maintain this product, $1.3 million is the investment that we've done. So we've got close to 400% of ROI cumulative in the last 2 years that we have.
Bhupesh, should I just try concluding in next 2 to 3 minutes?
Yeah, I'll just be doing that. So just key takeaways. This is not something that we have. So one of the things that I mentioned is this is a proven solution, not a fancy POC. Like I said, it's been there for the last 2 years, so this has been a success. Just want to conclude on some of key takeaways here. So we were able to pilot it and take from 50 people to around 68,000 people. Multiple labor laws, multiple countries, multiple working hours, legal entities, all of these things were handled because each required a different handling. We actually were also able to put this into a client location where there is no Concentrix network. We had to go over open internet. So how do we do it without a VPN? We were able to do that part also. Now this is feeding into our payroll. It's a SOX compliant application because it deals with money. We were able to focus on improving our employee satisfaction, and this was one of the drivers that we had. We also had our client satisfaction improvement happening. So we had more people logging in, lesser costs in some of the cases to the clients, more productivity happening, better service levels. So we also saw that our client satisfaction improved. Again, one of the drivers was this piece. ROI covered. Like I said, in BCP, AAL was able to handle and measure the real productivity for work at own agents. So that was one of the biggest things that we were able to do. And last year, NASSCOM, we won the Customer Excellence Award for this entire practice. So this was one of the industry recognitions that we had. With COVID happening, clearly we are not using it in the last 2 months, but we are actually right now testing the face recognition thanks to COVID. But this also, so a lot of hard work has happened, how the systems will work. What we are just doing right now is instead of fingerprint, we are moving to facial and everything will work. Our downstream, upstream applications work automatically. What we've also done is integrate this with, with biometrics. One of the important things that we realized was we had a lot of churn happening. So every time a new person comes in, we did not want really a manual enrollment to happen. And how do we really do away with that? So what we were able to do was whenever a new hiring was happening, onboarding was happening, at that place itself, we were capturing the fingerprint and then transferring that fingerprint to this system so that we don't need to do this entire activity again and again. So we were able to do that, and now we are looking for moving to a face recognition piece. That's it from my side. I'm open for any questions that we might have. Any questions for me?
No questions, but hands down a winner. Trust me. This is WFM.
Thank you, sir. Okay. If there are no questions, I'll hand it over back to Shiva. Thank you.